Hi guys, welcome to the Daily Neloo, a daily show to help you tap into your inner peace, choose love over fear, and live from inspired action. Today, I have a very special guest, Lady-Lallaine Reed. Welcome.
Thank you.
Lady is a master in two styles of martial arts, Tang Soo Do and Wei Kuen Do. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Yeah. And these are Korean styles of martial arts?
Actually not. Only the Tang Soo Do is a Korean karate.
Korean karate. And then
Yes.
what about Wei Kuen Do?
Wei Kuen Do is more of boxing.
Boxing.
More like boxing. And
Should I be scared?
It's created by Liu Fong, who's the best friend of Bruce Lee.
Oh, okay.
And by the way, we also teach Bruce Lee's style, which is called Jeet Kune Do.
So many. I told her only two for the intro. So lady, you use martial arts to work with women and do female empowerment. So talk about that a little bit.
My goal in martial arts to empower women, because martial arts is more than just wellness. It's also about learning how to defend yourself and of course being aware of your surroundings and making sure that you are not in a position of becoming a victim.
How did you even get into being a martial artist and a master? What was your inspiration?
It all started when I was a kid, and I had a very difficult past, a very sad, childhood wherein I'm almost like a victim, and that's how I actually grew up, being a victim.
Okay.
And it didn't stop actually, even when I thought I was already powerful enough because I'm a young adult. And
What do you mean it didn't stop? Like the mentality
the mentality
of being a victim
victim
didn't stop?
didn't stop. It's
Okay.
like I found myself traumatized and victimized by my first husband, for example, and it's a long story, and right now I've worked through it,
Yeah.
and I've learned to actually forgive my past, forgive myself for putting myself into that position wherein I was a victim or feeling like a victim. And I've risen about that, and thank God, through
Yes.
martial arts, I'm more stronger, not only physically but also emotionally and mentally.
So some people, use their faith as a way of healing. So it sounds like for you, martial arts was one of the ways you used to heal from your past. Is that correct?
Not only martial arts.
Not only
Not
martial
only
arts.
martial arts. I'm also a minister, as you know. With that, it went hand in hand.
Okay.
Martial arts kept me healthy because of physical activity and meditation, and attuning within myself, wherein I'm one with the source, and therefore I got into the healing part of it.
Got it. Yeah, I think people who haven't practiced martial arts don't realize how spiritual it actually is. The practice, there's a lot of mind training, right?
Oh, yes.
When it comes to martial arts,
Oh, yeah.
you use all of these different pathways to heal for yourself,
Yes.
to get through a difficult childhood, and it sounds like also difficult adulthood, when being married to someone who was abusive.
Yeah, he was psychologically abusive.
Psychologically, which
Yeah.
sometimes can be more damaging
Oh, it was.
than physical
It was.
abuse.
Believe me, the damage was so bad when he actually. I would say it's more of a kidnapping. He kidnapped my daughter and took her to Indonesia, wherein I was left alone in Germany and helpless.
And your daughter, I mean, you told me the story. Your daughter was just an infant, right? She was
Yeah, she
under
was
1
only
years old.
yeah, she was only 9 months, and I was
Wow.
breastfeeding her that time, and it was just a horrible experience.
Very traumatizing.
Yes, I wouldn't want any other woman to be in that kind of situation, where I've been. It's just.
So you're obviously not German, right? So how
No.
did you end up in Germany?
I'm a German citizen.
Right, but-
Acquired German citizen.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're a Filipina.
I'm a Filipina, but I was born in the Philippines, and I speak I still speak the language,
Tagalog.
Tagalog. And because I live almost 20 years in Germany, I have learned to love the German culture and the language.
Just for the record, I love German men. They're very attractive to me. Okay, so you find yourself in Germany, you're married to this German man, you have a child with him, he kidnaps your child, takes your child without your consent, goes to Indonesia, and now you're left in Germany by yourself. Did you speak German at the time? Were you assimilated into the culture? Yeah.
At the time, I couldn't really. I was just beginning to learn the German language, so I wasn't able to defend myself in court. That's why I forced myself to learn the language 100%. And
I mean, it's almost survival. You had to.
Oh yeah, I had to. It was my only way, and nobody told me back then that I could actually go and meet other Filipinas and other communities and seek help.
Yeah.
You know, I did go to the embassy, Philippine embassy, and I was calling the Indonesian embassy and all kinds of offices and asked for help, and I didn't get it, unfortunately. That was the saddest part.
And when did you transition into martial arts?
Martial arts I learned already when I started when I was 16 in the Philippines.
Okay.
But it was very minimum, you know, it was just like exercises because it was a sport, taekwondo, and I learned how to kick, how to punch, but my teacher then, I also went and practiced karate. I only learned the hand technique.
You look like you're gonna chop.
Yeah, I got
two pieces.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway, so back then I didn't learn the self-defense aspect of martial arts. I only learned the self-defense later in life after, you know.
So you picked up martial arts in your adult years.
Yes.
And that was a form of like training and self-defense and getting strong as an individual, both physically and mentally. And then you went into ministry, and now you're using all of this, your background, your contrast that you lived through your childhood and your adult years, to help women, help empower women.
Yes.
So how, like, if someone comes to you and they come from a domestically violent home, how do you work with them?
I would immediately suggest them, or you know, tell them in person to get out of the situation.
Right.
But I know in Germany there is an institution called Frauenhaus, and they take women who's suffering from
Domestic violence.
Yeah, domestic violence, and they give them a place to stay first, so they could, you know, hide from their husbands or whoever it is that they are hiding from.
So your first advice, if someone is listening and they're in a situation like that, is do whatever you need to do to get yourself out of that house.
Get out of the situation, get out of the house. So, you know, immediately cut the contact so they would be safe.
And if they have children, take the children with them.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Take
because
take your children.
Take your children.
Living is leaving the house.
Leaving the house.
Know, where they are.
Just separating your energy from that person, also getting out of harm's way.
Yes.
And then from there, you know.
From then onwards, you can seek more advices from social workers, social services, and I would also advise once they got settled down a little bit, you know, take martial arts for self-defense.
So you teach?
Yes.
Where do you teach?
I teach at Reed's Active Martial Arts in Northridge. That belongs to my husband, by the way.
Who's also
a martial artist, a grandmaster.
Someone might say to you, well, it's hard to get out, right? It's hard for me to leave this person. Maybe I don't work and they work and they're my source of income, or we have children. But you were able to get out being in a foreign land, not really speaking the language, and having a young child. So you can pull from that experience.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage to do what I did. I mean, a lot of people would say it wasn't intelligent and it's not advisable to do it like that. But what I did was just like, you know, I was being called, I was following my heart to get away from that person.
You knew that you had to get out of there.
I had to get out of there. I had to get out of the isolation, the life that I was living.
I've heard this statement before. You never know like what someone is going through until you actually have a conversation with them.
Yeah.
A few months ago, I met a woman, an Olympian, Olympian double gold medalist basketball player. I mean, if you saw her walking down the street, she's strong, she's tall, she just looks so solid. And when she got up on stage and she talked about being a victim of domestic violence, I couldn't believe it. Like, what? It's not like the two things in my mind didn't make sense. And she said her husband, immediately after they got married, became abusive. And she was so confused because she's like, I just went on my honeymoon with this person, and you know, he told me he loves me, he's gonna take care of me, we took our vows, and all of a sudden,
no, the first sign,
becoming abusive.
The very first sign of abuse is that time wherein a woman should just cut the relationship, see the red flags, and take it seriously and get out of the relationship, get out of the house, you know, before it's too late. Because sometimes, you know, if they stay, that abusive husband will become more abusive, and in the end it will be such a long time. It will be more difficult for her to get out of the relationship.
Right,
because
with any relationship, the longer you stay
Yeah.
together, it's harder. It becomes to part ways.
Yeah.
You see those early signs. We always ignore.
Listen to your intuition.
So often we ignore them, right?
Yes.
And like, I've dated men in the past where I see an early sign of maybe they're commitment phobic, or maybe they have a little bit of an anger streak, right? And you know, you just kind of look past it because you want to be open, you want to date, you don't want to be alone. And then 6 months later, you know, something happens.
Yeah.
And those are like very minor kind of red flags, but sometimes there's like major red flags and they end up being very violent or a con man. So
That's
listening
sad,
to those gut feelings. What other advice do you have for someone who might be in that situation right now and feeling disempowered?
For someone who's in a situation wherein you know your partner is abusive, I would suggest that you tune more within yourself and find your strength. Find your strength within you, wherein you ask your higher self whether or not you are okay with it. Are you okay with the situation? Is it really what you want in life? And if it's not, then move on. Take all your courage, all your faith, that you move on. And everything else will fall into place.
If someone is watching and they want to work with you, I know you have classes, and you also have DVDs, right, where you teach martial arts.
Oh yes, actually,
what do you have?
I have some DVDs here.
So what do you have here?
First, I would suggest the girl from Copacabana, Dina Penhero, was talking about her also bad experiences and how she recovered and overcome it. And at the end of her talk, I would be showing some self-defense technique.
Okay. What else do you have?
I have also because I'm also a massage therapist, I created
Jack of all trades.
Yes, dynamic massage. If you want to learn how to do some massage for your loved ones.
Okay, the ones that don't abuse you.
Yeah. I have dynamic kicking.
Wow, look at this. Look at that. Look at that powerful pose right there. Kicking. You stay away. Okay.
Yeah.
Dynamic
That's for
kicking.
every martial artist, regardless of the style.
You have to know how to
learn.
kick.
Yeah, to know how to kick and what kind of kick you're using.
What kind of kick is this?
Oh, that's supposed to be a high side kick.
High side kick. All right, got it.
and I have the dynamic stretching.
If someone wants to purchase these, are these available for purchase?
Yes, you can find them and download them under reedsactivemartialarts.com.
All right, and I'll make sure to add that to the captions below.
Yes.
And if they want to take your classes in person, you also teach in person. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. When you told me the story, and you told me a lot more detail than we shared here, I had no clue, because when you meet Lady-Lallaine, she is a ray of sunshine. She doesn't show at all that she came from this very destructive, abusive childhood and also young adulthood. So thank you for doing the work that you do.
Thank you.
Guys, be sure to check out Lady-Lallaine's content. I will add the link below, and I hope you enjoyed this comment below on what was your favorite tip that she gave, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.